Motorhead Garage, the program that each week introduces you to and shows you how to install the latest in exciting and innovative products for your vehicle. Now here's your host, Dave Dobson.
Now, Motorheads, if you have a hot rod or maybe you race on the strip or on the circle track, you want to listen up because I've got a way for you to get more horsepower. Chris Straub is here from Straub Technologies. What'd you bring for us that's going to give our folks more power?
Well, we got here a cylinder head intake package. Actually, it's a complete kit for any small block Chevrolet out there. This is an 18-degree small block Chevrolet head. It's 237 cc's. It features a 2150 intake valve, a 1.6 exhaust. It's got a 76 cc combustion chamber. It's got factory 23-degree exhaust location. So any header out there, it'll fit on these cylinder heads. This thing flows out of the box as cast, 330 CFM. What that equates to is 700 horsepower in your small block Chevrolet. We have a CNC version of this head that we do in-house. We CNC port. We've got 3 different port programs, and the best one goes 380 CFM. So if you want that small block to see the moon, 8,000 RPM, you got 800 horsepower plus with this kit. It features a 2-piece intake manifold, and it has 2 adapters. You've got your 4500 adapter for your 4500 Dominator carb, or you've got your 4150.
And this is going to cause a lot of craziness in the industry already. You call it mayhem, which is so appropriate.
We call it mayhem because the mouse guys have been forgotten about. And whether you put small or big in front of block, 427 cubic inches is still 427 cubic inches. When you look at a big block Chevrolet, and the General knew a lot what they were doing with the big block, the smallest head they ever put on a big block Chevrolet was 253 cc's. So this is 237. So when somebody comes to me and they've got a 23-degree head that's 220 cc's and they think they've got a big head, they don't have a large cylinder head. This is a head that will feed that kind of cubic inch. So the mouse guys have got their revenge to create a little mayhem among the big block guys and those poor LS guys out there. And we offer this in a pump gas. We offer it in a compression type package. But what you see here is what you get when you buy the complete package. And all this comes in a very, very affordable package for any type of racing. This package will start at about 650 horse, and 800 to 820 horsepower is what this package is capable of making.
You've paid attention to form and function with the Mayhem.
Yes, we have. As far as form goes, this features the double hump because that's the quintessential, most famous small block Chevrolet head, the double hump. And on the intake manifold, for function, we've already drilled and tapped it for your fog or nitrous system.
All this is beautiful, and I can tell that quality really matters at Straub Technologies. How do you ensure that quality control to make sure I'm getting the same engine that he's getting over there?
You know, we're full disclosure, so the castings are cast in China. This is a permanent mold system. Permanent mold means that they use a cast iron forging die. In the United States, we use a lot of cope and drag. Cope and drag is where they use sand. And with sand casting, you'll get a lot of core shift in the cylinder heads and stuff. So being that this is perm mold, the castings do not vary from batch to batch to batch. So it gives you a very consistent product line. The rocker arms are made for us by Harlan Sharp, US-based company. The valves come from a valve company in Brazil. The valve springs come from a US manufacturer here in the United States. We actually make the valve locks and retainers, Straub Technologies. The pistons are made in Mexico, but by United Engine Machine. Some of the gaskets are actually made right here in Tennessee, and then some of the gaskets are made in Mexico by an OE supplier. The piston rings actually come from Japan, and we use the same ring supplier that the NASCAR teams run. The push rods are made by Smith Brothers for us. And the P1 Fasters, which a lot of people probably have not heard of P1, it's a brand new performance company as far as our industry for performance fasteners. But they have been a military contractor and an OE contractor for years and years and years. So they've come into the market, and if you'll look at this stuff, it's absolutely gorgeous. It comes already prepackaged. It has the protective netting around everything. It comes with the brush, moly lube, and everything to assemble it. The camshaft I've done for years. So on the packages, we do a camshaft. Now, if an engine builder wants to add their own camshaft and lifter package too, we'll separate it and give them the lateral movement to be able to do what they want. But cam lifters are made for us by Morrell, another US-based company out of Cleveland, Ohio and stuff. So Distributed among the Engine Pro warehouses in North America. This will be available at any engine builder that's part of their network, and then Straub Technologies. And then we even have a distributor over in Australia, Kavanaugh Motorsports, and he got his first batch of cylinder heads we shipped out last week to him. It's kind of cool already to be worldwide.
Well, Engine Pro and Straub Technologies has searched the world over for the finest parts. You can find them in this kit. It's the Mayhem. You can find it at StraubTechnologies.com. Make gobs and gobs of power at an affordable price, by the way. Motorhead Garage, presented by Steel Rubber Products, is back in just a moment. We'll see you then. Motorhead Garage, presented by Steel Rubber Products, brought to you by Dead Scent. Start treating your nose to better days. AMSOIL, the first in synthetics. And by Custom Auto Sound, audio for the great classics, customs, and street rods. All right, Motorheads, hear me out. Now, you've seen the cell phone seat before, but what if I told you it's gotten even better? Now, it's one of the most popular items we've ever seen here on the show. Scott, when you invented the cell phone seat, it was an evolutionary process. You kept getting feedback and you kept trying it out, and you've done that again, an evolution through what your customers have to say. So how has the cell phone seat gotten even better?
So great questions. We had a lot of feedback from our customers. They love the product, but they mentioned some things that could potentially be better. Well, we've worked really hard to make some improvements on the device itself. Not only have we changed the front to make your front navigation buttons more accessible, we've also included optional foam inserts. So some people had a little bit of movement maybe with smaller phones or phones without cases. Now we've got these amazing foam inserts that you can easily put into the holder to work for smaller phones or phones that don't have a case. We also have modified the base. So if you have any type of movement in your cup holder, I mean, because there's, 100 million different combinations of cup holders, of cell phone sizes, plus you have accessories and cases. So we have created these foam strips that you can now put around the base of your cell phone seat to ensure that it fits perfectly and stays secure in your cup holder while you're driving.
Now, that wasn't an exaggeration. 100 million is actually the number Scott came up with using AI to figure out how many different combinations there are. And this, of all devices out there, there are other options. This fits more than any other. Why is it so adaptable?
Well, we just made it really universal, right? It has a flexible set of rings on the base that you can flex from 4 inches down to about 3 inches. You can even modify these to get down to 2.5 inches if needed, and we have that in our instructions. We left the top very open to accommodate for larger phones, phones with large cases. I use a wallet case on my phone, so I need a lot of extra room in there. So we do have this large opening for those types of phones, but of course, a lot of people have very small phones. I mean, you have the newest phone from iPhone is pretty tiny, right? So that's going to have a little bit of movement when you're in the device, which is okay. You can have a little bit of movement when it's in there, but with the new foam inserts, check that out.
Don't try this at home.
So now with the new foam inserts, you can actually put those in there and not have any movement on any different type of phone.
Now, I mentioned this is an evolutionary process, and the cell phone seat looks super simple. But it was complicated to get this design exactly the way you wanted it to. Durability, I know, was also a factor that you thought of when designing this.
Correct. So because it's the only single piece of plastic that does everything that the cell phone seat does on the market, it had to be extremely durable. We're very proud to say this is made in America. We make this in Fraser, Michigan, out of very strong, durable, American-made plastic. This is made by American hands. We put a lot of pride into the strength that we have and the durability. There is a lifetime warranty on it, so hey, if it's 5 degrees outside and you try to squeeze it into a small cup holder and you crack it, we're going to replace it for you.
Very cool. And you have a lot of different options now, and there are newer options since the last time we saw you regarding colors and design. So let's look at some of what's new from the cell phone seat and the cup holder phone holder, the new version.
That's correct. So we've added some new colors, including a wolf gray, a canyon beige. We do have a lot of our original colors, and we're very excited to show that we have these new custom colors. These are hydrographic dipped, and you can get anything from the tie-dye to American flag version. So people are very excited about those.
And it's more than you can see here. If you go to cellphoneseat.com, you can see even more designs. One of the things I love about the cell phone seat is that you can actually still use your cup holder with that. And I think that stands head and shoulders above everything else. I get in a lot of rental cars. The cup holder is the only place to put the phone, and that renders it useless. I'm not able to use it for anything else.
Exactly. You definitely don't want to block your cup holder. That's the reason I designed this. When I first had the idea, I was throwing my phone in my cup holder like most people do. It was bouncing around. I couldn't really see it. The idea popped in my head. We worked for years 3D printing different versions of this to get it just right. And the ultimate goal to make it fit universally in most cup holders without actually blocking the cup holder. Because hey, you know, we need our coffee, we need our water, you know, we need our protein energy drink, whatever the drink of the day is, we need to have access to it. So this can be used anywhere there's a cup holder between 3 and 4 inches. It's going to work in golf carts. It's going to work in, we've even heard it works in tractors. It's going to work in your cars. It's going to work in your trucks. It's going to work in your boat. It's even going to work at home in your recliner.
And it's going to work with more than just phones here. If you've got a kid maybe with their iPad in the back, you can set that right in there and put it in the cup holder in the car seat and you're good to go.
That's correct. Now your kid's back there, he can watch whatever he likes to watch or play on his iPad, and he doesn't even lose spot for his apple juice or his milk.
Now, there are imitators out there. You can go to other websites and you can find a cheap substitute. It may look the same, but the design and the quality will not be the same as the cup holder, phone holder from Cell Phone Seat. The only place to get the real deal is cellphoneseat.com. We'll be right back with more Motorhead Garage, so please stay tuned.
Welcome back to Motorhead Garage, presented by Steel Rubber Products.
Hey Motorheads, fall is in the air and that means it's time to get out and cruise. But when the season winds down, you're going to put your motorcycle or your classic car back in storage and there it's going to sit until spring. Now, rodents love safe, hidden spaces, and if your vehicle sits for any amount of time, that is an open invitation for critters to come on in. Rodents' teeth are always growing, so they need to chew in order to keep them trimmed, if you will. And if they're in your classic car or your truck or your motorcycle for just one winter, they can destroy your wiring, your insulation, and even the interior of your car. Mouse Blocker is a safe and proven electronic deterrent. It keeps mice out of your vehicle or out of your space, and it does it without any harmful poisons or messy traps. I love that part. Protect your investment this fall and all winter long with Mouse Blocker. Go to mouseblocker.com before mice move in.
Why the rubber gloves? Actually 2 layers, rubber gloves here and actually leather ones here because we're working on a hybrid. Hey, take a look inside that trunk and you'll see why. Welcome to this AMSOIL Tech Tip. Yeah, we're talking about hybrids, and when we're talking about hybrids, you see that big high voltage battery down there or orange wires? Stop, danger. See the symbol right here pops up on your dash, and under here it says shocks, burns, severe injury, or even death. That's right, we're dealing with hybrids. First and foremost, this is not a video on how to work on hybrids. You saw right there, they can kill you. Take it to a professional. But I do want to show you a couple special precautions that technicians take out there in the field. First, I want to tell you what a hybrid is. You got an internal combustion engine. They call that the ICE engine right there. And then sandwiched in the middle is your electric motor assist. Now that's that big motor that takes that huge battery, 600 volts, sometimes more, and a massive amount of amperage. So you got to be careful. Now, what do you want to do if you're dealing with any hybrid, or when technicians deal with hybrids, they go in, they unplug this plug right here. Now, this plug actually deactivates the whole system there. It takes that power out of the batteries. Once again, I said be careful. It may have to time out over some time. We actually took one out of a Leaf right here, which is a fully electric vehicle. It was located in the center pan of the vehicle, put on our safety gear, went under there, unplugged it, and of course used a DVOM and made sure that the battery was good to go. We did that here as well, and this is a huge hybrid battery actually right there out of that Avalon, the same one. You can see all the cells right there. We took this here, we went across it, we made sure it's dead, and this is our plug, our disconnect right there. So we're in good shape. It's just a demo, it's not dangerous. But I like it because it's pretty cool. You got a blower motor here, which takes the vent air from inside the car and keeps these things cool. AMSOIL takes those precautions as well when it comes to fluids.
Yeah, we do. As engine technology evolves, the oil technology has to evolve with it. We are to a point now where we are specifically engineering the products for different applications. So we have ATV, UTV oil, we have European oil, we have hybrid oil. We have all these different oils, and every one of them is a special formulation that we've designed that's designed for the appetite of that vehicle.
Now, hybrids also use the CVT transmissions. Boy, that's a fluid in itself.
It is. The CVT transmission, very, very tough on oil, very dependent on oil. The formulary is very specific, so we have that one. We also have a DCT transmission. As those become more common, we built one of those as well, and again, high quality.
There you go. Just don't throw any oil in it. Make sure you go to amsoil.com and get the special fluid engineered and designed for your vehicle.
My name is Joseph Fields. This is my Willys CJ2A 1946. It was found behind the barn. It's a VEC. After I got to looking at it, it's column shift. I'd never seen one. I decided right away it's one that I want to try to tackle. They're rare. They only made a few thousand of them. The Jeep's in now mint condition. Took about a year and a half. It's pasture green. That was the original color with the autumn wheels yellow, and it had the green pinstripe. We did everything ourselves except for the paint. The top on it I found in Nevada. Was from an estate sale. Man didn't know what he had. It's the cheapest thing I bought for the Jeep. It was $200. It's become a family project. They just were popular. The GIs loved them. They came back and started buying them as basically a family car. There was a shortage for tractors in the metal. A lot of the farmers bought them and they became the farm Jeep. This has the indentions. So the indentions were for the axe and the shovel on the leftover military Jeeps. It also has the flip-out windshield. That's basically your air conditioner. Top speed, 45. If you downhill, 50. It's always waves, smiles, brings up a lot of conversations, usually good ones.
Motorhead Garage, presented by Steel Rubber Products, brought to you by United Engine and Machine Company, global leader in OEM, marine, and high-performance pistons. Spray-on Bedliner Depot. Opportunities without contracts or franchise fees. Become a Depot member. And by Adrian, Cargo Management Solutions, hauling America's hustle. If you've got a pickup truck or a Jeep, you know they're tremendously useful, and a rack can make them even more useful, but there's a lot of shortcomings when it comes to some of the racks out there on the market. Ben, what are some of the problems you've seen with them?
Yeah, so with racks, tonneau cover compatibility is a big problem. The racks that are compatible, you can't open the covers. The ones in most other racks, you can't even run a tonneau cover. The other thing is a lot of racks are too short. You can't run a kayak, and then it's always a lot of trouble figuring out how to mount all your different gear.
So what did you decide to do with Trucked?
So with Trucked, when we first started, our biggest concern was, for me personally, I'm a kayaker, I like kayaking. You lost your tonneau cover ability, or they were too short and I couldn't put my kayak on. So what we did is we created a rack that was 12.5 inches tall, which is like the Goldilocks zone.
Just right.
It is just right, so you can put your kayaks up top, still keep your bed covers, keep all the raccoons and stuff out when you're camping, and really just have a really functional and clean solution.
First of all, how does it mount to the truck?
So, like a lot of racks, this sits on your bedside. This goes on the inside of your truck. You have two slots here, and if you've got like a Tacoma or Gladiator like this one, you mount directly into the trail rail, bed rail, utility rail. If you don't have that, we have a clamp system. 7.5 inches wide, so you got a huge footprint.
And this is modular, so how can you change it from what we see here?
Yeah, so this is it's a totally modular system. On the uprights, you can add an accessory panel like this one. You can mount all kinds of accessories like recovery straps, axes, shovels, traction boards. A lot of guys really like to use it for the recovery side of things, so when you get stuck, you just have the ability to grab your stuff real quick and get your truck unstuck.
Makes a whole lot of sense. Now let's talk about the construction there of all your uprights. What are they made from?
So our uprights are made from a 10-gauge steel. The 10-gauge steel is E-coated and then powder-coated. E-coating is the process that all your auto manufacturers use to coat your entire truck. So what we've tried to do is make as rust-proof of a product as we possibly can. The face plates, the accessory panels, a lot of the other parts are aluminum. So really the only parts that are still steel are the structural components.
And those are made in the USA?
Everything's made in the USA in Pennsylvania.
So Pittsburgh steel right there. So
yep.
This is good stuff. And you have a rust guarantee, right?
Yep, we have a 5-year rust guarantee against all of our steel parts.
Of course, with your riser then, if you want to run bars across, this is your standard bar bracket. How does it mount in there?
So you've got the 2 positioning pins, and we've got the holes on the inside here. Those positioning pins allow you to adjust the bracket, the bar height, every 2 inches from the top all the way down.
And you've made this super easy too. Yeah. You're not having to worry about wing nuts or anything like that, like others.
Right. So we've got the riv nuts, stainless steel riv nuts in the front face of that there. So you just put your 2 bolts in. We've got the nylon shoulder washers to keep your coating good, and it centers the hole, and it's just a quick install.
If you want to go even higher, you have this riser bracket right here. mounts the same way and gives you a little extra space. And how adjustable is that too?
Same as the other one. It'll adjust up and down every 2 inches. And then the really fun part is if you got the 24-inch rack like what's on my Tacoma behind you, you could take that bar bracket and add that bar bracket in and create a second level of storage.
So perfect for overlanding. You can still open the tailgate there, and you can get to both levels too. Now, I know that there are a lot of accessories that go with the crossbars and that sort of thing. How do they play with trucked?
Yeah, so with all the accessories like bike mounts, kayak mounts, all that sort of thing, for a lot of that we have our own mounts. We like to work with a lot of the other companies. There's no sense in our minds to recreate a kayak bracket. But what we want to do is make it really easy for our customers to mount what they may already have to their trucks.
But what I want to talk to you about here is this Jeep here. The setup in the back, it's not symmetrical with the racks. How does that work out?
Yeah, so that's one of our kind of really unique features. What we have on the driver's side is a 12-inch setup, and on the passenger side we actually have a 24-inch rack. So like we said before, all the parts are modular. So the 12-inch will dead end into a 24-inch. And then what we did here, we call this our Overlander setup. What we did here is we're keeping the tent low at the 12-inch height, and we want our awning up high so you can still walk under it when you're at camp. So that's the setup we got going on, and it's just a couple extra parts.
You can get risers anywhere from 6 to 24 inches. These things are incredibly adjustable, incredibly adaptable to any situation. Find them at gettrucked.com. Thanks for tuning in to Motorhead Garage, presented by Steel Rubber Products. We will be back in 7 days. In the meantime, just wanted to remind you we're streaming everywhere you find TV and video. We'll see you in 7 days. Until then, drive safely. So long.